So next is Luke Smith, our boy from the Outback down there in the Aussie. The subject is AEW beating Raw in the ratings. Hey guys, interested in your opinion on Chris Jericho's latest comments about AEW beating Raw in the ratings. See below. Chris Jericho thinks AEW will start beating Raw in the ratings within the next 4 to 6 months. It's quote, it's not going to be every week, but I bet over the next 2 to 4 months, maybe 4 to 6, we're going to start beating Raw, and that's my prediction that I'm saying to you guys right here. The reason for that is because we keep talking about the cool factor, but it's a storytelling, and it's that we don't panic. We're in no rush. We live in our own world, our AEW world. We book accordingly. We book smartly. If you watch our show, it's like watching the first 3 Star Wars episodes. One thing always leads to the next, and sometimes you'll see something where the seeds were planted months earlier, but we all know what we want to do and where we want to go. I'm going to disagree with them. They could beat him in the ratings in the next month if they send Ty Conti against Anna Jay and a Braun Paints match out there every week.
For the love of God,
they would. So probably, bro, there's things they could do to beat them in the ratings, but I don't think they quit doing the blood. It looks like because I don't think that worked. But bro, this is the difference. Okay, they need to up the ante on their production level and the way the characters are presented. Because every single time you turn on Raw and a character comes out, it's like this screams this person's a star. Huge board music. They get the CGI thing and stuff. They're presenting their characters so much more professionally than they do in AEW. I don't know if you're going to get outside the echo chamber or get outside this fan base and draw other fans because it looks like subpar production quality compared to the WWE production. I don't think it's going to happen. I would disagree. I would disagree with him on this.
I would agree with Chris. I think within 4 to 6 months there will be some times where AEW outdraws Raw.
You think so?
I would agree with him. Yeah.
I say no. Let's put $5. 4 to 6 months from now, they will not have beat him one time.
Not one time.
Yeah,
I'll bet you $25.
Here's why. Okay. There's still everybody keeps talking about the ratings and how great they're doing and stuff. I go, bro, to me, they're still under 500. Their first show was 1.4 million people. You had an audience of 1.4 million people your first show. They've never gotten back there. Their goal should be to get back there, to get back to the audience that you had when you started, and then work from there and beating Raw. I don't think they're going to get back there in 4 to 6 months. What's
their average? What's their average?
Like 900 to 1.1.
Yeah.
Like 900 to 1.1. That's like they're give or take, which is basic, which is all the shows. Give or take a week, up to 200,000 people will or won't watch the show. That's like all the shows across the board has been lately. So I don't know in a span of almost 2 years how you think in the next four months that you're going to increase that drastically. I don't see it. And I just think that's just numbers and the way the viewers' habits are and everything. I just don't see it. So
you don't think
I'll disagree with Chris and I'll disagree with you. But I did say this, okay? If they were going head-to-head, they would get there a lot faster. Because people watch – they hate watch Raw. And if there was another show with like Chris Jericho on it, Punk and everything, that they could click on and watch while that show was on, I think that they would click over and watch the other show.
Yeah.
And I've said that all along, and I think that's still there. If they want to beat him in the ratings, dude, Chris, put your money where your mouth is. Go head-to-head. Because that's the thing. I bet they would. I bet you would if you will go head-to-head. You could beat the ratings. If you don't, you won't. Because there's a huge market of 2 million fans or 1.9 million fans every week on Raw that like 80% of them can't stand watching that show. Because that's what the reactions are you get from the people. Like you see the reviews, everybody's pissed off every single week. If you put the product on right next to it or at the same time, you would draw those fans. That's my opinion. I've said that since October of 2019, but they'll never do it because.
Well, bro, I will say this: they have a humongous roster with a lot of dream matches. So we'll see what's going to happen. It's going to be very interesting next 6 months.
All right,
bro. Because
I would hate to predict, because it's so finicky and so many things can happen, and so I'm not even going to make a prediction. I just think that it's set for them to have some really great stuff with the people they have now. A lot of guys that have never faced each other before,
right.
Like real dream matches.
What if they went full like Nitro? Hey, we're just going to put Hogan and Goldberg on TV to get the ratings on. What if a Wednesday coming up, they were like, boom, Omega versus Bryan main event, secondary match, CM Punk versus Darby Allin rematch.
They should do that every week. They're not.
No.
For some reason, they have all these stars, and they'll put them on 2 weeks. They'll take them off a week, and so we can watch the Utah Wheeler
that's
and Bonini and stuff.
That's the thing that I used to say all the time. They have nobody but to blame it, because from people that I know over there, they tell me they don't look at AEW like as competition, right? And I'm like, okay, then why did you guys have a show on Wednesdays, at the same time, and you were bringing in Charlotte and Sasha and Bayley and all these people? I really think that if WWE would have brought the real star power that they had, they would have really put a dent in AEW's armor, and they didn't.
Both companies made mistakes, and then AEW is still making a mistake. AEW is saving stuff. Bro, every week's like, what's the best show we could do this week? Right. And you write a show, and it's great matchups, and every match is a main event or a semi-main event caliber, and then the next week is, okay, how do we top this?
Right.
But they still have 9-minute enhancement matches against guys that perfect example. You're going into the pay-per-view on Sunday, and Darby Allin's going 10 minutes with Danny Garcia. I'm like, it's like that philosophy. I don't know what you guys are thinking. If you wouldn't, but that's the way they think. I don't know. I just don't see I don't see the philosophy there. You shouldn't be saving everything if all you're doing is weekly TV and 3 and 4 pay-per-views a year.
Yeah.
So just every week should be the best show you can possibly. And Cesar Bonini and Utah Wheeler and stuff. These guys are not the best guys you can have on this show.
How about Warhorse?
Where's Lance Archer? Warhorse.
Where's the Butcher?
I think he just came back.
Where's Alan Angles? Where's 10?
Where's negative 1?
Yeah, what happened there?
What happened to negative 1?
Yeah.
Probably, seriously, they have so much talent that they could have a great show every week, but they just want to put their younger indie talent on there, and it just diminishes what they could be doing. So I don't know.
Well, they got some. Let's see what happens. Hopefully,
we'll see.
Changing them. Yeah. Yo, what up? This is Conan, and I host Keeping It 100. My co-host Disco Inferno. Unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!